Saleem Khan is an award-winning journalist and a digital news pioneer with a passion for changing the way we tell stories. Saleem is the founder of an open professional resource for virtual reality and related technologies in journalism, and he's also the editor and project leader of Investigate.net. He also leads a Toronto-based editorial service. Consulting and research and development are just a few of the things he does every day at Technovica. He's also worked for major national and international news companies such as the New York Times, the National Post, CBC, just to name a few. Thanks for joining us here today, Saleem Khan, at the University of Guelph Humber.
Thanks for inviting me.
So tell us a bit about your project, Journalism, titled Journalism, and the other one called Investigate.net.
So journalism, it's changed over time. So I initially conceived it as a resource to build community around immersive journalism. It's journalism spelled with a Latin U, so the U looks like a V. So I've been doing that activity and really doing a lot of education and sort of raising awareness about immersive journalism. Along with that, I've now shifted more to assisting news organizations and news people through various conferences and workshops to learn about immersive journalism, not just VR, which is a particular flavor of it, and to develop skills so that they can be prepared for when this is something that's going to be everywhere.
So you've worked with a lot of, it seems, people who are new to the VR technology.
Mm-hmm.
What are some issues that beginners come across while using the technology? What are some newbie mistakes?
So the number one problem that people have is understanding an immersive environment. In journalism traditionally, up till now, everything has been to some extent in some sort of a frame. But with immersive journalism, everything's all around you. So understanding how to tell a story and how to comprehend space, which is something that we typically haven't had to do, is the number one issue. It's not about the technology, it's about comprehension.
Just 10 years ago, a platform like Journalism or Investigate.net would be confusing for journalists to use. So how is VR changing modern news and entertainment?
It's not changing fast enough, unfortunately, for my liking, but it is changing. Right now, what you see happening with journalism experiments, they're really experimental, right, in news. And the main organizations that are trying out different forms of virtual reality or augmented reality, they tend to be the larger organizations that have larger budgets. The New York Times, Guardian, BBC, USA Today Network, so they're the organizations that have the funding to pursue this in a very serious way. That's not to say you can't do it on a shoestring budget. You can. It's just you have to be realistic about what your expectations are. The technology is going to get cheaper and easier to use. It has been. That's been the case with technology forever. And back then, you needed a computer that cost $1 million just to run the software. And now that computing power is in your pocket.
So you talked a little bit about budget while answering that question. In terms of big budgets, a lot of the students here don't really have access to such big budgets. And where do they start to create a VR kit where they can begin to, have the essentials to create a VR experience or a VR story?
You can start with the phone you have in your pocket, actually. You can download an app like Cardboard Camera, which Google's produced, and it's available both on Android and on iOS. And you can create an immersive story, a simple immersive story, but it's still an immersive story, just with that. And from there, you can go to a 360-degree camera, and there are a lot of them out there on the market right now. A lot of the times, you'll get one with your phone. Samsung, I think they have a $99 camera that they offer with your phone. I have one, the Essential phone, and it has a 360-degree camera that comes with it as well. And So you don't have to have a big budget. You just have to have an idea that works in an immersive space.
What are some good examples of how big news companies have used VR technology to tell stories?
The organization that's probably, not probably, that definitely is spending the most and investing the most that I've seen is USA Today Gannett. And I just mentioned that huge, 2,000-mile capture of the U.S.-Mexico border and the production they made around that. They're actually about to launch their first augmented reality experience, which is a rocket launch. So the kinds of visualizations we were doing with 3D real-time data, now the Wall Street Journal has an app that does all of that. You can see what the market is doing in real time. And that was produced in conjunction with Emblematic Group, which is Nani de la Peña's company. And without her sort of experimenting with VR for over a decade now, specifically for journalism, none of us would probably be here doing this.
So as students consider the ethical issues and the budget and the technological side of using VR, they come up across a lot of anxiety because it is a new technology. What kind of advice would you give to a student who's looking to do VR for the first time?
I'd give the same advice to a student that I give to professionals who are looking, which is just start doing it. The thing about this field is that it's all very new still. Most people in the world haven't even heard of VR. And so you have an opportunity to help shape what it becomes, quite literally, because there's no standards yet, really. There's no language like there is with a language of film or a language of audio. That's all being created now, so you actually have an opportunity to be a part of shaping what it becomes.
Want to watch more videos like that? Log on to emergemagazine.ca and click on the News tab for more updates from the Emerge Conference as well as the Emerge Media Awards. And while you're still surfing the web, go on to Twitter and follow us at EmergeTO. I'm Ashta Shetty. Thanks for watching.